Thank you. Welcome back to the LCS Challengers League, once again presented by Subway. It would not be a LCS Challengers League day, especially not in playoffs, if we did not go the distance. We had a 5-game LCS playoffs before this. We've got all 6 games for us tonight. I am so ready for the final game for tonight. Once again, we have, what is it? Not FlyQuest. Disgused versus Team Liquid Challengers.
It's getting crazy up here, Cam. It's late night. We had the longest game of the split. We had 3 Elder Dragons, and Basil, again, is still with us, which I appreciate. As what were you up to during that break?
Honestly, yeah. I couldn't really tell who was winning the game, so I was on the side drawing what I thought was a TL win, which we ended up seeing it was, but I then was surprised because we started losing, and I was like, maybe it's a DSG win, so I drew something else because, and then it went back and forth so many times. This is what I drew for the assuming that TL wins, which honestly was getting scarier and scarier. As you can see, I think Roamer did a lot this game, although I do think he had a few slip-ups in terms of positioning and having really awkward deaths. The damage pump from this way was absolutely insane. Yep. I also think the mid lane matchup is more favoring for how Roamer plays, and it definitely showed, especially with how he was able to basically one-shot everyone, especially in that last fight once Minui's GA died. Everyone can't exist near him. Everyone's a sitting duck next to him.
I mean, Roamer died in the last fight, but the R boom and the E field that he had, or the QE that he had down, was still enough to actually get through Minui. He was that much of a Giga Chad. Personally, Basil, do you have a paintbrush that big in your workshop? Have you been doing some curls with that?
I'm not that much of a Giga Chad, so I don't have one yet.
Oh, that could be on the wish list moving forward.
But this is what I drew for DSG if they were to win, because Baron was probably Baron was like the 6th player on DSG.
Really
wow.
Baron shot down Roamer, and I was like, wow, that this is they're playing a 5v6 right now. So that's I drew the Baron with a DSG number. It says number 1 now. It kind of looks like a number 2, but it works now because they lost. But
that's I mean the size of the Hui in one draft or one image to the other was very much varying. But hey, maybe Baron's just that big on the Rift,
Yeah.
Basil's still drawing everything to size. I love that. And you got Cam to still keep on chuckling as we got the 1 a.m. giggles here. So perfect. This is exactly
everything
what I
is funnier at 1 a.m. and that is funny itself. So.
It is.
Looking at the draft now, I really hope the DSG drafts something a little stronger. I was talking before this about how I thought their draft was not the best. I think it was hard to play top, mid, and bot, which did result in a loss. So I am hoping to see something better out of the draft this time.
I am wondering if DSG bans Smolder, because keep in mind, TLC, they've had side select both games, so they took blue game 1, as well as game 2. This is the first time that DSG has gotten access to blue side themselves, but they can't pick Smolder, because of course we are in Fearless Draft, so the champs that you see on your screen are not available, but no, they actually prioritize the Nautilus, who they have already locked in, over the Smolder. So they're going to give that one to TLC, and just kind of dare a TLC to pick it. It definitely isn't a champ that fits the style of TLC. This is a team that likes to play fast, play early game, and they did pass up on it in the last one, but I'm curious in a game 3 with even more champions removed that is something that TLC feels like they want to lean on.
Also, in these later games, we have seen, these last games are when the teams end up getting a little more stable. So this could be honestly a pretty good Smolder game if TLC decides to pick it, because there's a very high chance that there are going to be less flips. Typically people try to think a little harder on how they're going to win on these last games because they matter so much.
Oh, wow. And with all the bans, we actually have Ashe and Varus both left up. So we're going to have a trade with DSG prioritizing the Ashe. This is something that Poom has played quite a bit of at support. And I mean, this really has a big impact on these games, because all of a sudden we see a lot of squishies in the game, but the tools like the Vi and the Nautilus are off the table, because only DSG can pick Vi. So we already have a Blitzcrank being locked in.
Very exciting pick.
You can't match it with a Brahmin. If you want to play Ashe support, that's a bit tough. I'm wondering if Poom wants to go for something like Alistar early on to try and answer it. But if you pick Alistar, Kench would be available. Yeah, that's a good call, Cam. on the side of DSG. I don't know, Basil, like any champs like you really want to see in this game? Anything like you're really hoping for?
Honestly, I would prefer not to see Ashe on the ADC role, but this does, like we said, like pinch out that ADC pick, assuming that Ashe would go support, just because playing into a Blitzcrank as Ashe might be really hard. But looking at what they picked, aside from the Ashe, the Xin, the Gragas, hopefully will relieve some pressure from the side of DSG.
We have seen Gragas removed from Tenacity, like in the prior game, as he was huge on it in the game 3 against Maryville yet again. So at least keeping that Ashe up to be flexible. Poppy's something that can really punish bot lane with dives. And again, even more reason to run something like a Tahm Kench with the Ashe, as you were highlighting there, Cam. I'm curious if that's something that TLC bans out.
I've been whispering Bard into my mic. I hope chat appreciates that.
You know, I wanted to ask, but I was kind of like gonna let you handle it. I like we're manifesting here late at night. Are you a fan of that, Basil?
The subconscious like Bard thoughts into them.
A Bard is probably not the worst thing they could pick here, unironically. Do I want to see it? Probably not, but you never know.
Hey, it's my final day on NACO, final cast. I mean, maybe not final day. Hopefully not final day, actually, but I want a Bard.
I'm wondering if we see Aatrox removed from Jenkins. Tenacity can't play it. I do want to shout out Jenkins Aatrox as well, as that is one of the better matchups in the Gragas. So I'm expecting to see that banned by DSG.
Oh, Ezreal banned on the side of TL.
Okay. That is one way to get out of the Blitz hook. I kind of like that. Yeah, I like that. I think that's a good shout. Jay's taken away. I'm very much expecting an Aatrox here for Jenkins. I feel like that makes a lot of sense. I know that his pool is deep, but you could give Roamer counterpick, and it really feels like mid's important. As Roamer was very big in the last game he used that counterpick to great success against Young.
Oh, Nunu.
The Kiel Nunu, baby!
This actually is really scary for the side of DSG, because this bot lane, assuming they lock in the Seraphine, if you don't respect the early gank that Nunu has, especially with the Blitzcrank, it could be really scary.
I didn't even think of the Jenkins Poppy Flex into Gragas. And the Kiel Nunu, I mean, I'm checking. We have seen Kiel play Nunu in Wildcard. This would be the first time that we've seen Kiel play it, this split. It's his pocket pick back from when he was Frosty Nomad. If you're a real Challengers enjoyer, you would have seen it a lot when he was playing on Wildcard last year. I will say that Seraphine does give you the ability to, pop the double W and try and run away from it. So I think thematically, it's a nice...
really scary.
Yeah, like thematically, I like it as a pick, but you're 100% right, Basil. This early game is going to be completely ran and dictated by TLC.
I think the second that Blitzcrank even decides to flash hook or even attempt to, the next 5 minutes are free on that bot lane.
Young Aurelia?
Oh, Irelia!
We're blinding Aurelia into Poppy Blitz?
I don't know about that.
You have a Seraphine. It's a Young special. Young goes way back. I've been covering this guy since I started casting. He was with Radiance. He was with 100 Thieves next.
What are the chances it's Young Gragas?
I don't think so. Playing Aurelia into Poppy just is not that much fun. I will say playing Aurelia into Corki is a lot of fun. So now, like, a lot of this series, I feel like, has come down to early game priority. There will be a lot of priority for DSG mid.
Well, this is very exciting. I'm excited to see if the bot lane on the side of DSG can survive, if the mid lane on the side of TL can survive. And it's kind of just like, who can kill who faster in these lanes?
This is crazy. I'm doing a little bit of quick research here.
I like this. By the way, this is Willump right here. I have another Willump back here right off camera, and this is also Nunu and Willump right here. So I'm a big Nunu fan. So I'll take this if we didn't get a Bard today.
Damn, you came prepared.
I am always prepared. I even got the Scuttle. I was predicting the Scuttle like 3v3.
Basil, any thoughts before we say goodbye?
Excited to see this game. Honestly, I'm excited for either team to win, and goodbye.
Here we go. All right, Cam, we've got the 7-1 career Kiel Nunu making an appearance for the first time this spring. Oh, I mean, this is for all the marbles. Game 3. Lay down the stakes, Cam. What do we have on the line?
30 seconds until minions.
All of the marbles. Winner of this series, winner of this game now, will face FlyQuest Challengers in the top side bracket. Best of 5 winners finals. Winner of that series purchases their tickets straight, by the way, $5 tickets, exclamation point tickets to the Riot Games Arena for the NACL Live Finals. Loser of this series loses one of their lives and goes right down to the lower bracket. Do they face Cincinnati Fear, or do they face something for tomorrow?
They will face those matchups will be decided as we have lower bracket games tomorrow at the conclusion of LCS. So we got plenty of League of Legends action for everyone enjoying Challengers League this weekend, as we've had a lot of games. Cam, it's been great having you join us.
Keel picked the worst Nunu skin. That's unlucky.
The TPA? He wants to be a champion. He's shouting out a world champion here.
Nope. It is definitely the worst one, actually.
Well.
It is the most try-hard skin because it changes none of the ability sounds, which is the most important thing. I think most of the other ones do. So yes, if you are trying to super win, which obviously TLC actually is, but
yeah, I feel like
I do not like it. It changes nothing.
Well, I mean, I think the story about this game has really been TLC early games. Like, can they get going or not? And we have seen TLC pick a lot of priority. But mid, this matchup has the potential to be really changed by Nunu. Playing Aurelia into Nunu, that very much warps this matchup. You have to be very careful about when you go in. Aurelia, yes, she can really pressure Corki and get on top of this pick, but you always have to be worried about the Nunu making an appearance in your lane, because if you burn your Q to go in, you are dead to rights when Nunu shows up. So you can see Young, he's going to play a little bit further back, try and get a couple levels under his belt, and then maybe we see him get feisty with a Corki. But yeah, it's going to be a really interesting matchup to look out for, Cam, because I think that mid's had a really big impact on the series, and also came down with his blitz. I mean, if you land a hook, there are a couple really good hook targets, especially in that bot lane for Kimmy. So Keel's working his way down there, and I expect action to be there early, as Harry doing the same, working top to bottom.
Yeah, I am expecting Keel to probably actually skip the Gromp on this first clear. If he did want to actually gank bot side. I see Poom recalling, or not Poom, Manui recalling, and Poom is just kind of wandering around to mid lane, potentially.
I mean, you can see, like, Harry, that's a timer where he's just popping in there to be like, is there a Nunu ball coming towards my mid laner, right? Like, Poom is just here to make sure that this Nunu cannot ball up and actually take Young down. And Young being pushed off by Roamer, DSG have to really respect the Nunu in this early game. To delay things, show some soft power on the Rift. We have nothing burned significantly, but time being burned by DSG just to protect Young, and understanding that, again, Nunu, he's quick to enter these lanes, and when he does, he can be very deadly for solo laners.
It is super easy for Nunu to gank this bot side here, because when he is rolling in the W, greatest snowball ever, he is actually immune to slows. Manui's E can only root if you are slowed, and Poom's W is a slow, right? Like, this bot lane here for DSG is built around slows, and in theory, Keel is immune to slows if he does gank, so I definitely think Keel should be focusing mostly around the bot lane, especially because of the fact that you got a Blitzcrank, right? Like, Blitzcrank is there to get spawn ahead. That is why you pick this champion. You either hit hooks and win the game, or you miss hooks and you lose the game. And that is kind of fun, honestly, in such an important match for both these teams.
A matchup we haven't talked a lot about is topside. I know Tenacity Jenkins, a lot of fun history there, but that matchup doesn't really matter between the tanks. Is Young going to find the stun that releases the ball? He will still catch it. We're going to get some peppering damage down.
Yeah.
Each of our junglers did find a base. We have a D-Blade for Perry, as he's going to work his way up, and each of our junglers is going to try and secure this crab.
Keel has a little bit of a timer right now with the Krug spawning after he started the W, actually. So he got the W fully charged on to Tenacity, the top lane. Yep, exactly what you want from an early game Nunu. Get the flash from one of your solo laners, regank in a couple of minutes when you got that level 6 advantage too.
That was clever from Jenkins and Keel. Of course, Gragas does have the dash out, but you can't dash through Steadfast Presence from Poppies, so holding that for Jenkins does force the flash from Tenacity, and that is something that TLC can look towards later on.
Grubbies will be started up by Perry on Vision, though, so Keel could roll over here and see what he can do about these Grubbies.
Good vision, though.
Yes, Young also has, Young and Tenacity, honestly, both having lane power, though, does main. Most likely, Keel can't do much about this. Roamer's going to walk in and immediately walk out, so first 3 gubs picked up with no contest, thanks to the soul lanes of Disgused. Nunu's going to roll right down to the dragon, though.
Yeah, this is okay. The Varus bot for TLC, like, I expect the Varus lane to be able to secure some of these early Drakes, even with the Blitzcrank. I think Nunu really warps this matchup in the bot side, because again, if a Nunu makes his way down bot, It's dangerous. I didn't see how Kim burned his flash, but it looks like Manui is flashless, so I'm going to assume it was a flash-for-flash trade between the two of them, which, of course, that's a trade up for Kim. And again,
Look at him waiting.
Yeah. Just seeing if he gets lucky. Warding becomes very different, too, when you are going up against the Nunu. So you can see a lot of defensive wards dropped by DSG to try and protect that bot lane in case Nunu were to wrap around. Down able to find that one. That's quite nice. As Gil was thinking about making an appearance, but DSG playing so far back, he's like, I'm going to return to my camps.
Nope. He's vibing. Heal already clear on the top side for the second rubber band round. Now going to clear up bot to top to potentially get that regank once again onto Tenacity, who we previously burned flash on just a couple of minutes ago. Heal should hit level 6 off of this second clear, and I think Perry might hit level 6 if he soaks a little bit of experience from the bot lane. He's not quite walking in range of the experience though, and you definitely do not want to be walking in range of the Blitzcrank hook, so will just be a recall from Perry. You do see Kyo walking his way to the top side. His experience should be very close to 6. He probably will hit it off his red buff.
And quite early game, really good for DSG. I think some of the most important things about this game for DSG is just how many flashes can they hold on to. If you lose flash against Varus, Blitzcrank, Nunu, you are going to be punished. And that was really the story of Game 1 versus Game 2. Game 1, TLC really needed to make it volatile in order to find their wins. They didn't, and they got smoldered. Game 2, they did. They tried to throw it to the best of their abilities, but they ended up hanging on in the end. This time around, they need to make it volatile yet again. And I really hope... Oh, hold on. Kim down stuck in here. 6 for spawn.
Gonna be knocked up. No, it's actually on the Seraphine. Level 6 for spawn, like you mentioned.
Too easy.
The ult does hit. Yep, just too easy. Hook lands as well. Really nicely done onto Poom. Knock up everything. Lands perfectly. Spawn not quite gonna be able to land the Q, unfortunately, there. But Spawn, happily able to pick up that first blood. And a pretty sizable CS lead for him in the bot lane as well.
I mean, Kim snuck in that brush, and that flash cooldown for Manui. While he was in the gray screen, the flash came off cooldown. So really good timing from TLC. They hit the 6, they hit that, and now mid. Roamer did burn W. Young will try and get the flash out of him. Okay, not going to throw out the R.
No flashes traded yet. Nope, you saw Perry waiting in the bush as well, just in case anything truly went off. But Roamer intentionally waiting out Young's passive. Definitely do not want to find an Aurelia with a fully stacked passive if you have anything that you can say about it. TLC so far about a 1,000 gold lead in the first 8.5 minutes. Again, looking very similar, or at least closer to our game 2 than we had in our game 1.
I mean, a lot on the line for these guys. Again, one best of 5 away from playing at the Riot Games Arena. Very big deal. Especially, like, you know, for a player like Kim Down, year 2 on the TLC roster, they had really good performance in the spring playoffs of last year, and then summer they were in first place, but they kind of bottomed out. I know, you know, for someone like Kim, making his way to the stage for the first time would be huge to do that in year 2. He did play there as a competitor at UCI in collegiate top 8, but a little bit different to play at this level, as Kim's development over this year and a half has been really fun to watch, as he really came into the league as someone that was, you know, kind of a bottom tier support, and a lot of people were looking at the TLC Combine like, hey, why do they go with Kim Down? I got lucky enough to be a coach in that Combine with TLC. Kim was great to work with. He's worked really hard to improve, and I know that for him, you know, playing on stage just like everyone else, it's kind of vindication that he took the right path and he can do this.
I have a narrative point. Don't fight. Okay. Kim Down used to be a coach of mine, actually.
Really?
Yes. I think it would have been...
Just bringing this up now? You never told me this.
I think 2022, he did a lot of support VOD reviews with me when I was the support main back then. He was super chill. Yeah, I liked him.
Yeah, no, he's...
We had a good vibes, yeah.
At the moment, vibes are around the grubs. Perry, DSG, Poom's rotated up. Going to try and take these. Again, a magic blitz hook. If that lands from Kim, that could be big. Spawn going to try and take the flash from Manui.
Oh no, Seraphine ult lands, but Spawn is there first. Good flash away from Manui, and Spawn pixel perfect on the cleanse as well to get out of Seraphine's ult. Yep, flash for cleanse traded as well as the ults down in the bot lane. Meanwhile, up here on the top side, Snowball does land stun plus knock up everything right onto Perry. That buys some extra time for Keel to be able to get hit the Crows. But can they actually land the kill onto Perry? He's trying to trade it back out of Jenkins' flash. Again, now from Young gets the 1-for-1 so far. Keel for the flash away over the wall. I believe all of the grubs went in the favor of TLC. Pretty sure. So
Perry got 2. That flash though from Heel was Yeah, it's DSG 5 to TL1. So
Okay.
that was a deny for the 6 grub. Nice kill. Really good flash by him, too. If the E landed from Young, that would have gotten him. But now, Eclipse, Corky. Young trying to take this.
Oh no, I think Young wins these. You've got melee range, you've got bully stacked. Yep, on the Aurelia, we're going to have to be forced to respect Young on the Aurelia. Good flash early, but we got a replay of the grub fight.
So the flash from Perry, I mean, I thought this was a little bit audacious as he was trying to go for this. Oh, meanwhile, bot. Manui, of course, that flash was denied. I mean,
no.
Really well done by TLC. Like, Spawn took that big trade to get the flash. And shout out to our observers for highlighting that, too. I missed that one, but...
Yeah.
I think removing these flashes and punishing, it's really big. And Manui actually going for more of a supportive build. The Seraphine did see a lot of changes this patch. And so maybe rushing a Moonstone or an Ardent here to help the team. But not the Leandries or, like, you know, the some damage into, like, maybe a Moonstone being stuck in. It's just straight support for Manui. So that's interesting.
Hook. Oh. That's a hard word to get, by the way. Over the wall into the tri-brush. Perry
Perry's
might
no
be
wall.
caught out here. Yeah, no, he's just gone, probably. He's trying to dive back in, but into 4 members. Here comes the package on
No
top
flash
of it
Manui.
as well. Rome with the bot lane. Double kill picked up for Spawn. They could almost make it a triple onto Poom, but underneath the turret, no need to force that. If you do not need it, TLC 5-1 up on DSG in the early game for the game-deciding game, or series-deciding game 3, even as TLC will be able to take the second dragon.
And Spawn is 4-0, which is exactly what TLC... They could have wished for better gold distribution spawning into this game. I mean, this is so big. Like, I really like what TLC's done in this bot lane. Like, the onus is on them to burn flashes and make plays, but Manui is behind almost in levels that will happen soon as he actually rushed Shirelia's. So they're really going to try and abuse move speed to try and reset these fights. And Gragas is going to be the one holding the door, and DSG needs to scale, because Aurelia Gragas, they do scale really hard as solo laners, and later on, like, we already see Tenacity really starting to get the best of Jenkins in that topside matchup. Later on, it will be really good news for the Gragas, as he matches up well into both the Corky and the Poppy. But DSG need time, and TLC are doing their best to not give them any this time around, as it's been some good plays taken so far by Keel and Kim Down.
Really excellent work so far by, honestly, a very coin flip draft that TLC have picked for themselves, right? Nunu and Blitzcrank are both champions that either do super well or super useless, right? So far in this game, have done super well in getting Spawn ahead, which is kind of that was a very slight middle ground where Keel literally just bailed out Jenkins' wave right there. Very small, good micro play from Keel, but meanwhile down here in the bot lane, fishing for a hook onto Manui. Oh, hook just barely misses.
I mean, it's funny because we were talking about, you know, what would it mean for Kim Down to make that the LCS stage, but for someone like Spawn, like, who was on there and really flubbed out, like, getting back would be huge. And Spawn, I mean, he was on a team that got relegated in Team Fish Taco last split, but his performance was good enough where he made it back on the TLC with his squad. I think Spawn's been having a really solid series up against Manui. We didn't talk a lot about his Callista, as it was getting outscaled by the Aphelios, which was the big story. If they could take that down, Roamer was one that was fed last game, but I thought Spawn was very solid on his Callista. And now, again, 4-0 on one of his best champs. He has the chance to really carry this game as the Herald fight starting to break out. Keel and Jenkins looking for a pincer. DSG here it's 5 on the Seraphine.
Watch out for Jenkins, though. Where's the ult gonna go? It totally misses everyone. DSG were the ones to start up this Rift Shield, and yeah, if that Poppy ult misses, then DSG will just claim the Rift Shield for themselves. Asher goes slightly wide. That one was really close as well. Keel has a parry. Waiting for him to make a slight misstep there, but nope.
Parry?
Nothing quite yet. Oh, hook lands. There goes the Seraphine on top of it as well. Parry is just exploded in the mid lane. Kim Down, send down real low right now. Absolute zero hits onto the most important mid laner. That was a shutdown picked up onto Young. 7 kills to 1 right now, Cubby, for TLC.
That was a huge ult from Spawn as it caught Young when he tried to go in and follow up Parry. Parry, he didn't get the Crescent Guard off immediately. I think it was the knockup of the silence from Blitzcrank that delayed it just enough where he ate a lot of damage early on. And that play was really stymied by TLC, this frontline. Blitzcrank does have a lot of value against melees as well. I think Blitz ended up being really valuable this game. And the way that Cam and Keel were able to turn that around, I mean, that's just DSG feeding more gold into the pockets of TLC.
Tenacity?
Not what they want.
Tenacity might get a solo kill on the Jenkins right here. Jenkins is trying to turn it back around, but he doesn't have the Keeper's Verdict. Tenacity already burned the cast. A little bit of a 1v1 in the pit, and flash from Tenacity means no one will die. Wow. Jenkins didn't even flash there, by the way, so all of that traded just for Tenacity's flash. Very impressive.
The Sundered Sky was massive here, as that was a lot of healing that came in for the Poppy, something that she does need in this matchup against the Gragas, who very much outsustains. And curiously enough, Tenacity actually not going for a tier in this build. Usually we see the Roa plus the Seraphs, you get really, really big when you have those two evolved items. Tenacity skipping out of that for damage early, so will be a little bit less tankier, but pack a bigger punch in this game as the Gragas compared to some of the other ones that we've seen where if you do go Roa plus Seraphs, you are like 2 items plus just a menace for the rest of the game.
We've got Cloud Soul point spawning in just under a minute now for TLC. Not the most impactful soul in the world, but TLC would rather have it than DSG. Young might be caught out here in the bot lane. Good stun from the snowball, but the hook just goes wide. A little bit of a mistime there. I definitely think that if the hook was up when the snowball landed, should have probably hit that, but doesn't really matter. Tower will go down either way, and again, Dragon up in 30. TLC should have full prio for this one.
I don't know what DSG can do. I mean, the other tough part about this game is that like DSG are so far behind, they haven't really been able to get Young in a side lane yet. You want Aurelia in the long lanes to try and find the 1v1s and the 1v2 or the 2v2s that Aurelia really excels in. Skirmish is very favorable for Aurelia compared to the team fight. Seraphine will help with that, but still, it feels like Young's been really pulled around the map and hasn't been able to really accelerate himself
oh no,
in this game.
Where's he going? I don't know.
Drifting.
Where's he going?
Well, maybe, I mean, next wave, like it helps disengage. They're going to try and wait out the quirky package that Roamer has right now.
Snowball going in. You can't be slowed. Nope. Snowball just misses. Never mind. I thought that the snowball was going to hit. You know what isn't going to hit as well as the Rift Herald. Rift Herald is having a good old time. Seraphine ult hits only to be cleansed immediately by Spawn. Jenkins going in right into the backline. Massive. He's coming up from Jenkins all on his lonesome as a little Poppy. Massive engage from Jenkins. And that landed a double kill for Roamer and will probably land at the next Dragon. This is soul point again for TLC.
I don't know how DSG is getting back into this game. This one's looking even harder. The chain of corruptions from Spawn there were massive as it held everyone in place to eat the poke of Roamer and allowed TLC to follow up in the back half. DSG give more gold away to TLC. They do not obtain the soul point Dragon. One more Dragon away from Cloud Soul now for TLC.
If I learned anything from last game, I learned a lot from last game actually, but if I learned one thing, it is the Nexus, or the game is never over until the Nexus explodes, and we did quite literally break the record for this split here on
What about
ACL
game one?
For
Game one was like the most over game that we could have possibly had before the Nexus exploded, given that Smolder was at 225 stacks at 2030. And then game two was like, this game can never end. We just have to fight to the death and make a lot of mistakes on each side, you know? Maybe we find a balance in the middle, Cam, for game 3.
No, I think this is also we just broke the record last game. I think this game's also gonna break the record. DSG's 1-9 right now. 20 minutes from now at 39 minutes, I think it's gonna be tied up 9-9 or something
honestly,
absolutely
Cam,
ridiculous.
I don't know what kind of dark technology you're tapping into to manifest this, but I'm a little bit scared. This is a little bit too extreme for my grounded League of Legends tastes.
Look, I am here. It is 1:30 a.m. It is already dark tech for me to be awake this late.
Well done by Kim. You can see the Blitz and the Nunu, just kind of a roaming squad to really pressure this Aurelia, as Aurelia hasn't been able to cook inside then yet. Roamer's opened up a nice lead because of it. Nunu really warping the matchup. Manui!
Oh, Manui, that was the wrong way to flash there, my friend. Kim down misses the flash hook, though. That is kind of first. Seraphine ult hits only onto Jenkins with no follow-up either. Poom's trying to flash over the wall, but he doesn't actually have the flash. Never mind. Yep, no flash. Can't get over the wall with that one. He'll able to shut down Poom on the support. Tenacity on the wrong side of Summoner's Rift. Parry, though, has a pretty massive flank. Landed everything onto Roamer.
Tenacity.
Do they have the damage to follow up, though? Absolute Zero gets a full charge off. Will slow up DSG. Look at Manui, free hitting over the wall, though. He's still sitting full HP. Keel's going to try and turn it right back onto Tenacity. Manui, one more health underneath the turret. He can't even live. It was 2 kills for DSG, but now it's 13 for TLC.
I mean, that pinch really wasn't that bad from DSG, but they already lost members early on. Poom was out of the fight, and Tenacity did his damnedest to bring things back. Young got a couple kills, could be big in the side lane later on, but it starts with Manui being way out of position as Nudu and Blitz were spotted on the top side, so he thought that, he might be able to walk up, but Bot was all the way in. Jenkins was in fog, so there was no follow-up, or really no reason for Manui to be there. After this, Poom melts kind of for the sins that Manui committed. And as this play kind of warps, Roamer TP's in, but this gives Perry a really good angle. And I thought for a sec that things would be okay because he wasn't really spotted getting in here. But he eased on the Roamer, so then he has to kind of flash follow. Yes, Roamer goes down to Young, but with the member being down and really the lack of damage on DSG, Young ends up getting controlled later in the fight thanks to the Nunu and the Poppy. And Manui, this wasn't very interactive as Jenkins just kind of...
Look at that, look at that
tanking all the
Poppy.
turrets. Yeah, not a worry in the world.
I mean, I know that Spawn is the one that's 7-0 right now. Walking out of this game, I'm calling Jenkins the MVP. He has hit every single, engage, on the Poppy, by the way, which I know that this is an engage champion, but it is still not the easiest thing to be flashing into 4 people and getting the knockup onto all 4, right? Baron started up by DSG. Don't forget that Keel has a Q, which is a chomp, and if Keel is dead, then there is no chomp. Never mind. All right, shut down for Tenacity. Seraphine ult does hit onto Corky as well.
That's huge.
Roamer, very incorrect position right there. I don't know what just happened, but DSG are looking to take the Baron now. TP coming in from Jenkins. You are very late to this fight, my friend, but he says absolutely not. I come when I want to come, and at this point, it is on to Manui. 1 kill back into the favor of TLC, and I don't think... nobody can take the Baron off that, so we're going to do that again in a minute.
Damn, this game's everywhere. What's going on? Everything's just happening back and forth. Honestly, I have no idea what's actually, what the thought was there for DSG to try and turn and take that Baron. They didn't deal with Spawn at all over the wall. Spawn melts everyone. He's now sitting at 8-0-5. The chain of corruptions were massive, and he has the DPS to actually think about this Baron. As Manui has TP when he respawns, Young sprinting out of the base. TLC is trying to burn this, but now they might get stuck in the pit again.
Oh my gosh, it's literally going to be the same exact fight that's happening again, except this time we're missing important cooldowns, by the way. Absolute Zero coming out. It is fully charged, but only
DSG wins this.
Young. Massive re-engage back from DSG, though. It's the pit. It does go back over to Keel, but here comes Corky. Massive package. Look at that package. Roamer, where did he come from? Double kill picked up now for Keel. That is the Nunu that you lock in to get those neutral objectives. You should get every single one as the Nunu. TLC will continue running down DSG. There is nowhere left safe for the Disgused team.
I mean, honestly, Roamer's package was huge. I thought this was going to be DSG turning the game back around as you thought would happen, Cam, because the fight at the start's pretty good. The cast comes in to try and push Spawn back. He ends up getting pushed into the wall. Kills to complete the ult. Then the re-engage. At this moment, I'm like, okay, this is doable for DSG. But Roamer comes in from downtown with that package. Manui melts to it. He cleans up everyone else. So TLC... it was a bit hairy, but they walk out with a Baron. They walk out with a 10k gold lead. They walk out with a soul, and that's not nearly as clean as it looked. It sounds a lot cleaner to the look, Cam, is what we're getting at. But either way, TLC, I think they're going to find this 2-1. This is going to be too much for Disgused to overcome.
All right, and now that Cubby has said that, we will be going to a 50-minute DSG comeback. Thank you very much, Cubby, for cursing us with that.
You were really trying to manifest this, Cam. I respect the dedication of the craft,
It's coming, and I'm not gonna say that I did not expect this game, because last game I was not expecting a 47-minute whatever it was game. So this game, I will say that I did expect it.
I think what TLC is trying to manifest is that their LCS team can do this again tomorrow. That's what Kim Down wants to do. Just take away Seraphine Flash. There are a lot more ways to pressure it. We've seen Spawn. These chains of corruptions have been massive in this game. Spawn, he's sitting on that cooldown. If he can find Manui, that could be very big. Manui very under-leveled at this point. Snowball coming in.
Here comes Nunu. Lands the stun, lands the snowball, lands the hook. Everything, and Perry is just dead. Kim Down surviving for quite a long time. Absolute Zero only to absolutely blow up Young. TLC are running down DSG into their base. TLC want to purchase their ticket to the final best of 5 on the winner's bracket.
Tenacity's Gragas can't carry this game 3 as he did his best, but then this gold lead, it's way too much. The pocket Nunu for Keel. It's looking like it's going to move to 8-1 in his career as TLC, off the back of Spawn again. I think Spawn very quietly went about this series. He played very, very well, especially in this game.
They forgot about the Nunu. They forgot that the Team Liquid Challengers team were going to show up today. They lost game 1, and we were not going to end game 2. I was so ready for the end game 2. Nope, I'm sorry, I forgot my own curse. We're going to be going at least 20 more minutes now because I started to end the game. Nope, let's see. We got an Elder coming up in 4 minutes. Yep. We're going to start counting the Elders now. I'm ready.
Yeah, I think for TL, like, this was an interesting series to me because the route that each of these teams took to get here in the regular season really wasn't what I expected, right? But they have like really started to bring it together. I think that we still saw some like holes and some, you know, I don't want to call it too messy gameplay because we like when our teams go to war, and frankly, these series have still been far cleaner than what we're seeing on LCS because that has been the true war going on. But man, I think that like moving forward. FlyC versus TLC, as we all expected, right? That's what we all predicted early in the season, looking at everyone's rosters. That's what we have on our winners bracket final. Nothing to see here. We might as well just skip to this moment, right? Absolutely nothing entertaining happened along the way. Very much expected.
Oh, yeah. FlyQuest Challengers, Team Liquid Honda Challengers, winners bracket. Totally. That's what's going to happen this game, for sure. That will definitely happen. We got 3 minutes left on this Elder. That is the timer that I'm watching. Yes, I know Baron spawns about 60 seconds before that, but at this point, the Barons have not been able to end the game nearly as well as the Elders have. Last game, it was 3 Elders to 4 Barons, so my analysis big brain says Elder is better than Baron.
Well, I mean,
yes.
I respect that. At the moment, I'm going to say 10-0-8 is better than anyone else in the Rifts. I still think Spawn's been a really big part in TLC here.
That's so true.
Yeah, as someone, again, who was relegated last split on Team Fish Taco, where things really went sideways, Spawn played well enough to earn his way to this team with TLC, and he's really stepped up at a couple of moments in this series. I feel like Spawn been a strong point for these guys, and that matchup in the Sajad, who, of course, is an exciting young player that we have for FlyC, will be a fun one.
Oh. It's close.
Yes, Arrow's the positional coach on FlyC as well for bot lane. Correct, Cam.
Thank you. I definitely knew that.
Obviously, what you're referencing there. Yeah. I got
Why
booed
did
by
production just boo me?
I got booed. All right. I'm
okay,
done.
thank you. No. Can I get Basil as my color caster now, actually? Thank you.
It would probably be more entertaining. I'm just a stick in the mud. So, that's all right.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
at the moment, we're just kind of waiting for the fat lady to sing and the Nexus to go boom. TLC, 15k gold lead. Cloud Soul to their name. 35 seconds to Baron. A Nudu Chomp to secure that one. No funny business gonna happen here, Cam. It's gonna be fun.
Cubby, I'm getting real worried. This is looking a little too similar to last game for my liking right now. I've been memeing it's gonna go 48 minutes. We're sitting at 30 minutes, and TLC has yet to break an inhibitor, despite having a 50,000 gold lead. I'm getting real worried that DSG is gonna find a way to bring us to 50 minutes. But let's see what happens. Watch Jenkins on the flank. Here comes Nudu as well. He'll land a massive ult onto the backline here. DSG trying to flash away. Jenkins, look at him in the backline. 1v3 right now. Kid now running in to try and help out his top laner. And the rest of these guys have just been wiped by the Team Liquid Honda Challengers. Finally, Team Liquid Honda Challengers will be looking to end this series, buy their ticket right into the best of 5 winners finals on the upper bracket against the FlyQuest Challengers. Again, this is what we were all expecting. We thought that it was going to be Team Liquid Challengers versus FlyQuest Challengers. And this is exactly what we ended up getting. Yeah. There's absolutely nothing fishy that happened along the way, but 30 minutes in our Game 3, 6 games on the day. Team Liquid will be against FlyQuest Challengers.
Regular season just truly doesn't matter, Cam. That's what we've learned this weekend here at Path to LCS. But I do want to say shout-outs to TLC, especially Spawn. I thought Spawn was fantastic in this series. I mean, that scoreline in Game 3 was huge. And shout-out to Jenkins for having the 1v3 in the backline, taking 0 damage, so that Spawn could free it the entire game. It was very nice of him.
Oh, man. All right. I am so ready for this interview that we are about to see from someone.
Let's hear from the winners.
Let's hear from the winners. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes here with our winners from Team Liquid Challengers.
Introducing the new foot-long sidekicks at Subway. Try the warm and delicious foot-long cookie, foot-long pretzel, or foot-long churro.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm joined by the victorious Spawn, Basil, and even her cat, Pomelo, making the guest appearance. Spawn, congrats on the win. I know it's late where you're at. You said it's like 1:45. That's pretty tough, but we'll try and get through this one for you. But congrats on the win.
Yeah, congrats. I had a question because I think your guys' plays bot lane were very convincing to see, you know, the better bot lane. But I was curious about how you felt, especially in the draft in game 2. How did that bot lane go? The fact that the game was so close, so do you feel like there was things you could have done better? You were very sneaky and being a very, I believe you were playing Kalista? Being a very unkillable Kalista, all sneaking in there. But how'd that game feel?
I think it felt all right. I definitely could have pushed the lead bot more. Something like that. You know, I'm playing Kalista. I think as the game went on, it's definitely harder to play. Like they had Talia, they had Felios. I kind of felt like we were getting outscaled in a way. But somehow, like our team fighting, we just won. You know, I don't know how we were winning these fights. I was just clicking. But yeah, it worked out. Late game Kalista.
Yeah. I mean, it did help that Roamer was pumping out some serious DPS on the way.
Yeah, and he solo killed,
Yeah. He had some big solo kills. I actually wanted to ask you, game 1, you guys are playing into a Smolder. Minui got 225 stacks by 2030, and you guys kind of did nothing. What was the chat like from game 1 to game 2? I know you guys like to play proactive comps. Game 1 seemed a little bit out of character for you guys. Like, well, what kind of happened? Like, how did you guys switch it up moving throughout the rest of the series?
I think game 1, like we had a plan, but we got behind early, and the Smolder was just farming pretty well. So I think we kind of knew, like, okay, like that was their kind of one win con. You know, they got the Smolder stacks. It's whatever. I feel like we always lose game 1 almost every time, and then we just reverse sweep. So from game 2, I mean, we were fine. We're just like, okay, like we got behind. They got a Smolder with stacks. You know, it happens. We'll just move on. Look at the draft, and yeah.
Yeah, well, I think the game 3 was honestly probably the most convincing game. Watching that bot lane was almost like a crime, honestly, seeing how the Seraphine was left to die. But I also have a little drawing for you too, because I do believe that you played very well this series. Here's you as Varus executing Minui. Yeah. Well, I did think there was a lot of pressure bot lane, and I think you played that bot lane very well. I will say your support also, I don't know, those hooks were hitting. Yeah. So very impressive bot lane for sure.
Yeah, I think we had a good matchup, and we executed.
Yeah, good job. Congratulations.
Hey, Spawn, I will say too, I know that you know, you guys are now 1 best of 5 away from being back on that LCS stage. As someone that's been there before, like, what's it mean to you to, you know, find some wins and have the opportunity to reappear on that stage with Team Liquid Challengers?
I think it'd just be really cool for the opportunity again. You know, like Challengers being online, honestly, it kind of sucks. Like, to me, playing Academy, playing LCS, just honestly, it doesn't matter where it is, but you're with your team. You know, like, every day, going to the office, you know, see all the boys. I feel like that's one of the best things about it. So I feel like going to stage there, meeting everyone, that'll probably be the best thing for me.
Yeah. Well, hey, with some more good play, you're going to have the opportunity to do it. And I was really impressed with especially game 3. You guys held it together in a really long series. It's really late. I want to let you get to bed, but before you're able to get some well-earned rest after this victory, floor's all yours, man. You got any thank yous or shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, just thank you to my friends and family that are watching, even though it's like so late. And yeah, shout out to my team. I think we all played well. We all had our moments. So yeah. And our coach Mash.
Yes, shout out to Coach Mash.
Good drafting, good drafting.
The bot lane specialist. Well, hey, Spawn, thanks so much again for joining us. Go get some well-earned rest, man. You guys earned it. A really fun series. We'll look forward to seeing you next week against Fly C. But right now, we're going to bring back Camcom, see what they thought about that interview and everything else. Cam, what's up? Anything else you want to add with Spawn?
No, just thank you, Spawn. Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming on. You played really well tonight.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, it was fun to see that like the playoffs have just been absolutely ballistic so far for Challengers League. It's crazy that we've had 6 series go to 3. And I know that we have more series that potentially could go to 3 tomorrow, but I do want to take a look at the playoff bracket moving forward. As Basil, we had, the 2 LCS teams now in winners finals. The 2 LCS, Challengers affiliates, as we all expected after we saw regular season, right, Basil?
Yeah, for sure. Well, honestly, if this is gonna go like how Fly TL went, we're gonna have an exciting next few matches. I think definitely like because it's so close to the end, these teams are definitely on their A game, especially with Fly being so dominant and TL honestly showing up when they need to. I'm very excited to see, if they have anything to change or anything. Cam, what do you think?
I am super excited to see the games tomorrow. AoE, Wildcard, and MU versus Supernova. I think will be super fun. And of course, the losers of those matches are unfortunately out, but the winners versus the losers from tonight. And I just honestly really like the double elimination format. If we do continue to get the game 3 for every single best of 3, then these are going to be some long nights every single night.
Yeah.
But it is always fun. This is fun.
It's going to be worth staying up for tomorrow because that MU Supernova matchup, the 2 versus 3 seed, the fact that one of those teams has to go home after the regular season they had is honestly somewhat criminal. But hey, before we go, we do have a shout out to give, as we did have a big announcement today for LCS Challengers League that we have live finals plus tickets available. So if you want to attend, it is April 1st in person. Type in that URL into your browser,
point tickets.
Or also thank you, Cam, for the teamwork. And hey, I want to open the floor to both of you. It was a unique day for me, being joined by 2 guests. It was a blast. Cam, I'm going to let you go first. Any thank yous or shout outs that you'd like to give, as it was awesome having both of you contribute to the broadcast today.
Well, thank you for having me join the NACL. My voice is very dead, but Cubby, it was good to cast with you again since LCS Game Changers. Basil as well. We worked a little bit together during Game Changers. Hopefully, I'm again looking forward to Game Changers again later this year. But next weekend, I am going to plug Salty Runback Prod, I think is where we're going to be streaming the NACL Co Finals. We are going to be tri-casting that with our Tier 3 Tonight crew, me included, even though I'm usually our producer. So I'm very excited about that. But yeah, follow me on Twitter. It's right there. That's what I mostly use. If you want to talk to me, DM me on there on Discord. That's where I'm most commonly found. But thank you for having me. This has been a lot of fun.
It has been fun. Thanks as well, Cam. You've been doing great work behind the scenes too with the Tier 3 scene. I have to catch up with OQs, but Basil, catch us up with everything
fun.
you have cooking, as you have quite a bit going on.
Yeah, so again, thank you for everyone for having me on. I really like talking about League, and I enjoy talking to the players and just seeing, the development in this league. So thank you to everyone. You can follow me on Twitter. It's below there. I also came out with keycaps if anyone is a keyboard enthusiast. They're really cute. They're cat keycaps. But aside from that, I really appreciate being here. Thank you.
No, honestly, it was great having you both with us today. We're going to be rating Stunt right after this, but please tune in tomorrow after the conclusion of LCS playoffs. We'll have 2 great best of 3s. We have to say goodbye to 2 of our teams. We'll see who moves on in the LCS Challengers playoffs. Until then, shout out to everyone behind the scenes helping us. Shout out to these 2 for joining me as well. And most importantly, the players, teams, coaches, everyone participating in this event, and the viewers. Without them, we couldn't make any of this happen. So shout out for supporting LCS Challengers. And let's go support Stunt as we say goodbye to today's broadcast. We'll see you guys tomorrow.